I think this is kind of great because like Megan's just like
She's just chilling
gonna
back
be doing
there.
like a sweet cameo doing her awesome makeup.
I wonder.
Yeah.
You paused a little too long before you said the word awesome.
Yeah, well, I couldn't think of like a word because I was like going through. I was like beautiful, but then I was like beautiful doesn't really make sense for like makeup. I guess like it kind of does, but like to describe the makeup itself, I feel like it isn't beautiful. And then I was like, but it is like kind of awesome. And then I was like, oh, awesome fits better in this. And then I threw that out there. And it was like a whole 6 seconds of me trying to be like, am I backpedaling? I feel like I was just trying to explain what the fuck is going on. But hey, fine, whatever, man, whatever, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Welcome to episode 10 of the Lunchtime Serenade podcast. We did it.
Number 10, double digits.
We hit
double digits.
2 hands, baby. Double digits. Let's fucking go.
That's all we can count with our hands now. We're gonna start using our toes. Ooh, feet pics next episode.
We're gonna hit 21 and like not gonna be able to count it anymore. We're gonna have to like tally it on a wall somewhere.
Exactly.
It's like we're in prison. It's like how many episodes have we gotten through before the release?
21.
It's incredible.
Too damn
we are
long to
joined
count.
today by my lovely girlfriend Megan in the background, who probably won't be able to be fully seen in the video once it's like
You can
I
pan
do
once you got the little
thing.
crop thing, but you can be like,
It'll just slide
Here
a
she
little
is.
bit and then slide back out. So she's just chilling, doing her makeup because she's gorgeous and making herself all pretty and shit.
Awesome. And
Is this gonna be held over my head for the rest of my life? Because I'll cry. I swear to God.
oh man, well, holy shit, we made it 10 epis, man. That's exciting. That's so exciting. We're still doing
dude.
it. We're fucking sticking with it through all of our trials and tribulations. And
Yeah, we kind of have a system worked out now. We just have to deal with the universe fucking us and utilities also not being great all the time. But hey, it's fine. Everything's okay. We're getting there. We're making it work. Everything's okay.
yeah,
It could be worse. The world is still shitty, but I feel like it's getting better marginally.
facts.
A little bit.
Facts.
Here and there. We're doing our best. But hey, so far so good. And we're in a new day. It's almost a new month. I feel like April didn't exist.
Dude, April was weird as hell, and it's about to be May. Like, holy shit! It's I don't know. Like, people are like finishing up school. They're like, I got a text from my friend. There's like, oh, like last day of grad school is tomorrow. I'm like, what the fuck? Like already? Like it's so weird. It's so weird, man. Time does not exist.
Well, plus like the whole thing too is like we have gone through like maybe 4 months in the space of 1 month, and it's been like it's been really weird seeing how everything is kind of come together this month, because like there's shit that I remember that I thought was like last year, and someone was like, no, that was 2 weeks ago, man. I was like, what the fuck? Because I think this morning like Megan and I made coffee and we're just like sitting outside getting our daily dose of vitamin C because that's all we can do now.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I was just like, so how are the Hong Kong protests going? And she was just like, probably the same as they always were. And I was like, did that happen this year? And she was like, no, that started in 2019. And I was like,
What the hell? Yeah, I don't know.
Like a whole moment of just like realizing how much time has passed. Oh, it was fucking wild.
It's weird. It's weird. Almost 4 entire months into the year. Like, it's straight up basically summer. I mean, it's 90 fucking degrees here. It's summer,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it summer.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's definitely summer. I'm about to turn a quarter century years old in a fucking quarantine. It's gonna be tight.
I know. Are you excited? Are you doing anything special? What's the plan?
I think literally like our plan is we're just gonna one of Megan's best friends had her birthday was like last week, and so what they did was they did like a tasting in each room of like different wines or like alcohols or something from like across the world. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool idea. I was like, we should do something like that. And so Megan's like considering doing like a weed tasting and like doing that in like different rooms in like the apartment. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty cute. By the 6th room, you're like crawling into it. You're like,
Yeah. I'm just asleep in the 3rd room. There's still 4 more rooms to go. I'm just like, I'm good.
Oh man,
dude. Speaking of weed, this is the future that I have just lived for my whole life, because we found there's a service called Ease that we like.
Is it like EEZ?
It's like EAZE. It's like literally.
Oh, it's like literally the word ease with a Z.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, and like it's basically like you go on it, you order whatever weed you want. A dude picks it up, drives it to your house. They confirm your ID by like scanning it, and then like they have like an ATM reader that you can use a debit card for, because you can't use credit cards because it's not like federally regulated. Whatever. And you just do that. Guy leaves and you just have a bag of whatever the fuck you just ordered.
That's
and like
insane.
they've been running this deal where it's like every other day they have a like they have like a whole shtick about they have like 20% off random shit every day, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then they take that and cut it down. And then sometimes they have even like this deal that we just did now was like, if you refer a friend and they buy stuff within like the month of April, you get $40 credit.
Holy shit.
So like, yeah. So we got like, I think like $150 worth of weed the other day for like
damn
$70. And I was like, sick. No. What did it come out to? It was like $100, somewhere around there. But it was like for like the delivery and all this other stuff.
Right.
But then I started thinking about it and I was like, how do they do this? I was like, do they just have like a warehouse where they store shit? Do they like go to a dispensary and bring it? And I was
that's
like,
also the other thing. Like, do they have their own like supplier? Do they run a field? Like, do they have a crop? Like a grow house? Like, how do they do it?
Exactly.
That's interesting.
And like that's like the interesting thing, because a lot of like dispensaries and stuff have like deals with a company called Candescent, which is like kind of the bigger like cannabis company right now. If there's a show called Most Expensivest on both YouTube and I think it's on Hulu now. Vice started it as a YouTube series, and then they transitioned into being a Hulu series, and it's with 2 Chainz, and 2 Chainz goes around the world.
I've seen episodes of that.
Dude, Dude, it's one of my favorite shows. Megan like stumbled across it and she was like, we should watch this. And I was like, we should watch this. This sounds great. It's so good. Fucking 2 Chainz is such an interesting fucking dude.
He's an interesting dude.
Cool.
He's funny as hell, dude. You know?
And like they went to the Candescent, like, I don't want to call it a grow house because I feel like that's a derogatory statement, you know what I mean, for them. But like they basically go to their grow house and like look through the whole operation. I was like, this is kind of incredible.
That's dope.
And like they have it at pretty much like every dispensary, at least in Southern California, that I've seen. And like those kinds of companies are just like they make it and then they sell it to the places and then they sell it to other people. So it's like, okay, well, how are these like delivery places doing it then? Because I feel like everybody has a different name for like different strains. So you have to like put everything on a website, and that's just gonna like overload a server. That's gonna destroy your bandwidth. So it's like, okay, well, where do you find like the middle ground on like how to enter that market? It's just crazy to me.
That is interesting. I mean, it's such a new and emerging market that, I mean, I feel like I see a new advertisement for a new like delivery company, like a new cannabis delivery company every single day. Like they're spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing, because I see like new digital ads for it, new like print ads for it. I'm like, oh, like that's new. I've never even heard of that before. And it's like every other day I'll see a new one. Dude,
yeah. If you like whenever you go to like Megan and Emma's next, like if you drive north on La Brea from their apartment, there's like billboards for Herbarium, there's like 2 for Ease. It's just cannabis companies on those billboards, and I was like, this is kind of tight. Like I love that this is where we are.
Yeah.
Also kind of shitty that there's still people in prison for possession while these companies are operating, but whatever.
Yeah, facts.
And so like it's just crazy to me, like seeing all this stuff all over the place, and I'm just like, okay, cool, this is a nice future. I like this. But it's
right. Like imagine wild. This like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even like just like.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah, it would seem like such a distant future.
Did you know who Dan Bilzerian is?
Oh, that's so weird, because I had shit I wanted to talk about for this podcast, like about him. So yes, I do know. What a good segue.
This is an incredibly unplanned segue. Holy shit. But he, like every time I find it, it's like he's like the pinnacle of manliness, despite the fact that he's like 5'4". So I think he just has like a Napoleon complex.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's like huge. He's got a beard. He like always has like guns and like American flags around him and like beautiful women and shit like that. And I was like, okay, cool. This guy clearly sucks, but he owns a cannabis company.
Ignite.
Like Ignite. Yes. So he started a cannabis company and has just been like rolling with that. And I'm just like, I wonder, like before it gets federally regulated, where like what companies people are like putting together portfolios for to be like, all right, if they go public, like this and this, because it'd be kind of cool to like be like an early investor or like an early buyer of like cannabis companies, just because it's only really going to go up. I mean, as it gets more federally regulated and like stuff like that, plus the tax revenue. There was an excise tax on the stuff that we bought that was $27.
I was about to ask, like, how much are like the delivery fees and the taxes and shit like that? Because like, there's always the hidden fees and shit like that. Was it like literally like $20? That's fucking insane.
Yeah. So like, I wonder if I still have the actual thing on here, because the whole order itself, I think, ended up being like $103, and that was after like a 20% off thing on it. So, yeah. Okay. So we got a bag of peanut butter cookies, a 5-roll pre-roll pack, and then like an eighth. So altogether that was like $90. Local tax was $9.98. Sales tax was $10.42. State cannabis excise tax was $9.75. So altogether
like
it was
$32 in taxes. That's insane.
Exactly. And then like we got the delivery fee waived, because over like a certain amount of money it gets waived, but the delivery fee was $8, and then the service fee was $3.
So you're paying almost like $50 just on top of what you're already paying. That's insane. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but like,
right. Which like I get to a point, because it's like that's kind of what started with alcohol, and there is an excise tax on alcohol, but it's like I don't think there needs to be that much. But plus it's also a delivery service, so like a $4 service fee, I'm like, sure, that's fine, I'll eat that. And like the delivery cost, whatever. But then it's like you have 3 different taxes on top of it, rather than just having an excise tax that covers all the other stuff. So I don't know. The whole thing's strange. It's still getting there. It's still working on it. People, we're getting it to a point, but it's I don't know. It's just frustrating to like see something be like, okay, here's all this stuff, but it's like it's still at the same level as heroin. So
right, like it is a very polarizing kind of industry, you know. So I'm sure that will kind of iron itself out as laws change and as it becomes more just kind of like around in general, you know. So
right, and we're at the beginning of it, so it's gonna go from there. And then like, you know, you have people like, you know, fucking Dan Bilzerian, like we were just talking about, like, who has all this money from somewhere, and then they can just start a new cannabis company.
Isn't it from poker?
Yeah, because he was like a World Series champion winner, right? Yeah. I was like, that dude's like, his whole thing is just wild to me. Like
it's
his whole
insane.
existence is wild.
He's like the ultimate frat bro dream. Like that's what they all want to be.
He is a pair of don't tread on me chubbies. That's what he is. He is a living embodiment of don't tread on me chubbies. He's
Sperry Doc Siders with hair, dude. That's fine. That's all he is.
He was definitely in a SIG app in college.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Absolutely. Holy shit. What are the promo codes like for weed delivery companies? Because my favorite thing is like when Postmates has like, they're like, oh, here's a free delivery code on us or whatever, and it's like have a bite or something, like that's a promo code. Like what are the promo codes for like ease or something?
There was
like,
a promo code that we used the other day. It was it was really
litty.
funny. Dude,
I'm schmacked.
Honestly, like some of the things that they have on there, the funniest things. Like there was one that we were talking about earlier that was it on ease, like that referring thing that we called. It was called Refer Madness. You know, like Reefer
Madness. Yeah, that's
and
funny.
I was like, damn, that's funny.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, dude. And like the craziest thing about it too is like, so it gives you like who. Literally, it's like when it was requested, the deliverer, so like the guy's name and like his ID and ease, prepared by the guy's name.
I mean, I'm sure it's like ID it has to be so fucking like airtight, you know, because like they're transporting like so much money worth of like, you know, worth of this drug, and then like also a drug. I don't know why I said drug, but like. It's like they're literally like, I can imagine that every step of the process has to be accounted for, double checked, triple checked. Like it's so fucking like, you know, because
absolutely.
You know, any number of things could happen with it. So and like things with food deliveries go wrong all the time. Like what's to say like, oh, you know, I made a mistake, and you know this guy's just like pocketing shit on the side, like like my, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
So like
like right now, like one of the code words is just sweet. It's the word sweet, and that's for a single tea, like a tea mix. Dude, there's I actually saw Casey Neistat posted a tweet about this the other day for this thing called like Cann. It's like CANN, but it's soda that's infused with cannabis.
Damn. Dude, there's so many things you can do with it now. Like it's insane.
So cool, dude.
And
there's like individual vaporizers that are all like different kinds, and a lot of them are getting more like recyclable friendly and things like that. So like you're actually not just like destroying the environment by getting like single-use vapes and stuff like that, or all of the shitty little cartridges. So it's like, it's cool. Like the industry's cool. There's a lot of innovation happening in it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And I'm sure like these places are really cool, like company, like atmosphere type shit to work at, you know, like it's like the new Google. Like I'm sure a lot of kids like coming out of college, like business majors, like graphic design, like, you know, anyone is going to want to work there. So it's a, you know,
absolutely
pretty fucking cool.
I think. Yeah, and I think like since we're at like the beginning of it, it's kind of like, you know, the tech boom, like the .com boom and stuff like that. You have all of these companies coming, and then like the ones that, you know, get a little bigger eat up the other ones. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now, is like the start of that.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool like watching these little things pop up, and also seeing like home brews and stuff like that. Like you're like the same thing that you get with like craft beer, like people are doing with weed.
Right.
They're just like making different strains, crossbreeding, cross-pollinating and stuff like that. And it's just really cool to kind of see that. But the cool thing is like, okay, when are we going to hit that bubble when it all kind of like collapses and like the top 6 are remaining?
Right.
And then like the next stage will be like, oh, when, you know, sanctions start getting lifted or laws are getting rewritten and stuff like that. And it's like becoming more obtainable. That next like wave of like other people coming in with innovations trying to challenge like the bigger ones that are left. And it's just like, it's going to be an interesting kind of like 20 to 30 years for where this that kind of like industry, that retail industry is going. And I think that's
totally.
kind of
and then they're going to get absorbed into like already existing like mega conglomerates and shit like that. Like Amazon's going to have its own fucking, you know, weed delivery service, like get weed delivered in 2 hours or less or some shit like that. And then Budweiser is just going to have
Budweiser
a weed
has
division.
fucking
Budweiser.
or even worse, it's like weed infused bud. So it's just really shitty beer filled with even shittier weed. Wow, thank you. Oh my gosh.
What?
Dude, it looks so good.
What is it? What do we got here? Just explain it to us.
Megan, what is all this?
Have her explain it.
Yeah, okay.
Use
Megan,
that for the thumbnail.
Become B. Jesus Christ. Come tell us what is in this sweet concocted bowl.
We're going to use you for clickbait.
Yeah, tell us.
I feel
in your best announcer voice.
It's angel hair pasta with lemon, Parmesan cheese, cracked black pepper, garlic, and garlic salt, topped with fried egg and toast that's rubbed with a little bit of garlic.
Dude,
wow.
Dude.
Wow.
She's so fucking good at this and like so innovative. Thank you. Wait, come back here. Come here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. She's like so good at just like finding shit in the apartment and just being like, if I throw all these things in a pan, it'll probably taste pretty good. And that's just
dude, if we were stuck on a deserted island, I'd want to be stuck on a deserted island with Megan. Like that's nuts.
Dude, same. Absolutely.
So
for like other reasons too, but like
you're like mainly so she can cook for me, you know? But
yeah, like
I guess because she's my girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I love her and shit, but like, you know, this is kind of taking precedence.
That's insane, man. Wow, that was just maybe one of these days, like when we start having normal episodes again. Wow, when we start having normal episodes, we should pay her to cook us a meal for one of the episodes.
Dude, that would actually be kind of dope. We could do it as like a side thing as well, and have like a. Oh, like here's like a top-down view, like an actual
extra
cooking
content.
show.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Dude, that'd be
There's so
funny.
many ideas that I want to fucking do when this is over.
Yeah, when we can actually be more, I don't want to say more creative, but at least like in a better realm to do shit
when we
on
can
camera.
have an idea and then fucking like execute it, you know, the day after.
Yeah, properly.
Yeah,
exactly. Not having to play into where we don't endanger one of our roommates.
Straight up.
But yeah, so hell yeah, we finally got some food, baby. Let's go.
Amazing.
Megan is absolutely wonderful, and I love her to death. And she brought me this great little food. So now we're just gonna eat this while I'm gonna eat this. And
Brian's gonna eat it. I'm gonna watch and be insanely jealous as I drink my water from the bathroom tap because I didn't want to go all the way downstairs.
Oh my god.
Bathroom tap water. It's what's for lunch.
You should just freeze it so you can have it in like every state.
I should.
Every state of matter of the bathroom tap water.
Speaking of my fucking bathroom, dude. So like last week, all of a sudden, I, washing my hands, whatever, as a normal person does. washing their hands, and then all of a sudden, you good? A little hot?
Yep.
The
it's actually a perfect temperature.
Water
Holy
starts
shit,
going down, it starts draining in the sink. And then 2 seconds later, after it all goes down the drain, it just starts spraying out of the drain, like the pipe. It's just like there's like a cabinet there and the sink on top of it. It just starts gushing through the bottom and the crack of the cabinet. I'm like, holy fuck, like what is happening? Holy shit. Everything that's under there gets soaked. I had like a scale. I have all our cleaning supplies, paper towels and shit. Like the paper towel, if you've ever like thrown an entire roll of paper towels into water and see what it looks like, it looks so funny. It's just like totally wilts and it just looks so pathetic. It looked like a tiny little, dude, honest, it just looked like an old man dick, like straight up.
Ew. Like it's like receded back inside the body a little bit.
It was wrinkly. It was real funny looking. Anyways, so we had all our shit under the sink and I was like, so I like pull it out and then it stops, but there's still like a leak, like a little drip. So we move everything from there. We put the trash can under there and it just starts dripping into the trash can. By like an hour later, it's like fine. So I'm like, okay, not a big deal. Put a maintenance request in and they said we'll get to it at some point. This was over a week ago. I mean, luckily it wasn't actively gushing anymore. So we tried to even recreate it. Like we turned on the water full blast and like for like 5 minutes, nothing happened. So we're like, okay, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it sealed itself. I don't know. Anyways, fast forward to today, we get a knock on the door and it's like, oh, hi, I'm the maintenance guy. And it's always a different maintenance guy. Every time I've had something done, different guy every time. I don't know if they get fired. I don't know if they're actually just like freelancers.
They're single-use maintenance men. So like the one comes back, they just like recycle him into the next one. They just like print him out of like a tube and send him out.
They're not even...
He squeezes out and just walks away.
So
what broken?
What
broken? That is a sentence.
My chair. My chair. Am I gonna? Why? Okay, my chair just.
We're gonna watch Nick break his back on live on air.
What is this? What part of the chair is this?
What the fuck,
dude? What part of my
That's
chair?
definitely like the. It's definitely
oh,
like
God,
the.
It's like an important part. I can see how important it is from here.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Well, hey, we're gonna see how long this can go before you break,
dude. If I fall down on podcast, that's instant clickbait. But I think I'm fine for now. How did it happen? It's fine. Anyways, I'll put that aside and I will fix that when we stop recording. But
hey, you're doing great, sweetie.
Anyways, so this guy gets here. This print a maintenance man, recyclable guy gets here, and he's like, where's the leak? Upstairs. Walks upstairs. And then he's like, is this the sink? I was like, yeah, it's whatever. He turns it on. And I said, it hasn't been leaking since. I don't really know what the issue is or was in the first place, but I'm hoping you can maybe, figure it out. I'm sure he has, I'm assuming he has some kind of special tool or whatever, being a person who works in the maintenance world and who knew they were coming to fix a sink.
A router?
Yeah, something, right? So he pulls out his phone and turns on the flashlight on his phone. First of all, I was like, okay, what are you doing? And he's like trying to shine it into the sink. I'm like, I could have done that. What are you looking for? And so I'm just kind of standing back, watching him do this. And then he turns on the water and looks under the sink with his phone flashlight. He taps. He didn't even have a tool. He taps on the drain pipe. He's like tapping on it, like listening for. I don't know, echolocating or some shit like that.
Yeah, I was about to say he's echolocating the fucking hairball.
I don't know what he was doing, but anyways. So I was like, yeah, I haven't been able to like recreate it since it started gushing water. We've just been trying to like monitor it and maybe not turn it on full blast or just be careful with what we're doing. But it kind of ruined everything that we had under the sink, so it was an issue at first. And he's like, well, it's not currently leaking. And I said, yeah, no, I know that. And I can.
Thank you, sir, for coming out here to tell me that.
I thought it was just like gushing so much that it was invisible. That's insane. So he's like, yeah, it's not doing anything right now. I said, okay, so do you have something to figure out where the leak is or whatever? And he said, I don't. He's like, there's no way for me to do that. And I said, okay, that seems kind of maybe wrong, but okay. He said, yeah, if it's not currently leaking, like I said, if it's not currently leaking, there's nothing I can do about it. I was like, whoa, okay. sure. And he's like, if it starts leaking again, just take a video for proof. I was like, for proof? You don't fucking believe me? What does that mean? And he's like,
You think I'm just calling you out here because I'm lonely? Jesus.
He's like, you think I'm just going to, no. I'm like, I don't want anyone else coming in this apartment that doesn't need to be in here. So why would I, So anyway, so he's like, all right, just let me know next time it starts leaking. Take a video though, so, I can see. And I was like, all right. And he left. And he just fucking left. The maintenance here is insane.
That's so fucking
I
weird,
also
dude.
tried to call at the beginning of this week, or maybe the beginning of last week. I don't really know what happens when, ever. So I'm like, so essentially the way it works is there's a call box at there's a gate around the thing, and there's a call box on it, which a lot of apartments have if there's a gate. So like you can like dial someone's number and then it'll ring their phone and they can press on their phone and it'll let you in, right? So they don't have to like come all the way down, blah, 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 blah. Like that's like a common thing. So there's one on our apartment, except I'm not on the box. Ray's not on the box. Like no one is on. The only person who's on the box is James. But I'm like, okay, well, it makes sense that I would, everyone would want to be on the box. Like, what if I have a delivery? What if Ray has a delivery?
Right.
What if something is going on and like I need to be contacted? Because I've had Amazon packages just totally skip me by because I haven't been home and they just can't get in my door, which is silly.
Cool. Love that.
Yeah, exactly. So I called their leasing office and I said, hey, can I have my name on the box? And they're like, what box? And I said, the call box. And I said that I've missed packages. I'd like to be able to just press a button on my phone and have someone, call in. And they're like,
right.
I don't know if we can do that. And I said, what do you mean? I don't know if we can do that. They said, well, I think that when the previous tenants moved in to that apartment, there was a one-time setup. And then I don't think you can change it after that. And I was like, okay, so let me get this straight. So say someone moves in, and then they move out. What do you do then? They're like, they're like, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure.
That's a good point.
They're like, I'm pretty sure you just can't put anything. Like, I don't think it'll fit. And I was like, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I was like, I just want my name on the call box. So I could say, when you get here, dial 5289, and then you'll fucking ring my phone. They're like, okay, I'll call the owner and I'll get back to you. I was like, okay. So each
time like a new person moves in, they just buy a whole new call box.
Yeah, exactly.
They just replace the whole thing.
God damn it. It's like, this is getting expensive. They just kill the original call box.
They hit it with like a sledgehammer. They like blow out like a whole part of the wall. And they're like, all right, let's go.
Maybe that's what it is, because when I got the call back, like a couple hours later, they were like, all right, so I talked to the owner and he said the only way to do that is to get in touch with the company who like owns the call box. And I was like, okay. And he's like, and they have to send out someone to do it for you. And I was like, okay. I was like, it seems like something you could do remotely, but okay. And they said, yeah, so all you have to do is pay the service fee for the guy to come out and do it. And I was like, I don't know about that, but I was like, okay, sure. What's the service fee? $210. What? I was like, okay, $210 to put my name and my phone number on the apartment complex box on the front gate where I live. I have to pay $210 so people can get into my apartment. Is that true? They're like, yeah, just because I don't know if it can be done. And I said, cool. This is nice. I was like, so literally what happens if someone moves out? They're like, well, when someone moves in, we do it for free as a convenience. But so I was like, okay, well, cool. I moved in. You didn't do it for me. And they're like, yeah, well, you weren't the original tenant. And I was like, oh my God. I was just like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Great. And fucking hung up. Dude, this apartment complex is so like, I like it a lot, but like the owners are so ridiculous.
It's like the whole meme where it's just like your landlord is like, their whole job is just to own the place that you live in.
Yeah.
But then they just don't do anything about it.
I know.
Like, that's so wild to me.
I know.
Like, usually that shit is like something that happens before you move in. Like, you've put in the information, and then like your landlord or some shit goes out. The building manager changes it, and then goes back in. There's what the fuck? No, you should absolutely just be able to just open the box, plug in a little adapter, and just change it and walk out.
Type in
like, that's
fucking
it.
10 digits and 4 letters, and then I'm done.
Yeah. That's just wild.
It's kind of
that's
their
also
MO,
insane.
dude. Yeah, they literally like before I even moved in, like when I was applying and shit like that. So like I applied and they sent me an email and they're like, all right, you're going to need to provide like some pay stubs and whatever. I was like, okay, cool. I'm actually self-employed. So is there a way I can, do that? And they're like, okay, hold on. They're like, we don't want you using the apartment as a place of business. I was like, well, no, I mean, I do everything online. They're like, okay, we just need a written statement from you saying that you're not going to sell items out of the apartment. And I was like, they're like, because we don't want extraneous traffic, causing jams. I'm like, I'm not going to have people. I'm like, I don't run a store. I'm not going to have people coming in and out of my apartment. They said, okay, I need a written statement from you. And I was like, okay, fine. Here's a written statement. Send them a written statement. They're like, okay, this is good. I'm going to need your 2018 and 2019 taxes. And I was like, well, I hadn't filed 2019 taxes because it was still 2019 at this point. I was like, they're like, I'm going to need your 2018 taxes. And I was like, okay, well, actually, I just started my freelancing business like at the beginning of 2019. And, so my 2018 taxes aren't really going to reflect like my current financial situation. And they're like, okay, in that case, I'm going to need just like a couple of months of pay stubs. And I was like, again, don't have pay stubs. And they're like, okay, well, how do you normally get paid? And I said, like, I don't know. I can give you like I can send you screenshots of my bank account of my like deposits. And they're like, okay, well, yeah, do that. So I send them a screenshot of like the last 2 to 3 months of my like literal bank account, like on the website, take a screenshot, sort by deposits. Here you go. And they're like, okay, it just says, because they're all from PayPal essentially, because that's how I do all my business. So they're like,
which is very normal.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, it just says PayPal next to these deposits. We're going to need a little more information. And I was like, so then I went back through PayPal and I took the last 3 months of PayPal deposits, like their sources or whatever. It just says like PayPal ID and the date. It doesn't show like anything significant because it's fucking PayPal. And so I'm like, okay, here you go, just to see your correspondence. They're like, okay. And then a week later, they're like, we're going to need the last year worth of PayPal and bank deposits. And I was like, okay. So I do that for them. I put it all together, but it's like, it's not just like a matter of screenshotting. It's like, I have to redact information because I don't want them. I mean, they don't need to see my personal life. Like so I have to go in, I have to fix all these documents and make them. And so I send them, whatever. It takes me like 3 hours to get this shit together. I send it to them. I'm like, okay, we'll get back to you. And I was like, okay, great. And so then a week goes by. I haven't heard anything. I'm hitting them up every day. They finally hit me back and they're like, we're going to need a letter from the head of your bank. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? They're like, yeah, we're going to need on the bank's official letterhead a handwritten memo from the whatever owner of the branch or like the branch head or something that says that you're the only one making deposits into your account. And I was like, first of all,
wait, what?
Why does that matter? Second of all, they don't know that. I was like, the bank head doesn't know anyone can make a deposit into my account, into any account, like it's not like like anyone could write me a check or like whatever. So like, why does it matter where the money's coming from if you're seeing that the money's there? First of all, it is all me, but why does it matter? Like if someone got paid, I don't know, by someone else every month, like why does it matter where the money's coming from? Right. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I try to reason with them. They're like, no, we just need it. So it's like, so I go.
They're trying to make sure you're not like a fucking drug mule.
Yeah, like I don't
you're
know
not
what
like working for a cartel.
Right. I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to do right now. Like this is insane. Like, are you wanting me to just be like, this is not worth it? Like, no.
I've never heard of this before.
I haven't
like even
either.
like just like a quick aside into this. Like applying for this place, like all I did was I was just like, hey, like I am a freelance like worker and stuff like that. So like I don't really have like pay stubs from a company. And they were just like, okay, yeah, just send us like your last 3 bank statements. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I did that and sent them to them and they were just like, all right, cool. Yeah, like, whatever.
Exactly.
And like, even like adding people onto this lease, like my landlord's just like, yeah, just tell me the name and I'll get you a new copy. And then you just add them to it. And I was like, okay. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, I don't know why it's so hard. Like, do they not want to make my money? I'm going to pay you. Do they realize how I'm going to pay them like to live here? And like apparently their job is so fucking marginal anyways. They don't have to do anything about it. Anyways, so I sent them all this information and then I went into my bank. I went into the fucking credit union and I said, hi, this is really weird. But I'm trying to apply for, this apartment. This is what they're saying I need. And they're like, I've never had to do this in my life. And I was like, I I was like, I don't know why the fuck they're making me do this. What is it going to prove? I was like, I could just Photoshop the letter. Like, what is it going to do? Like, literally, for sure. I was like, I could have Photoshopped any of this. I could have Photoshopped the bank statements. I could have Photoshopped, I could right click, inspect element. Oh my God, I have $1 million in my bank. Like, I'm just sending you a screenshot.
Exactly.
Like, so what is it? Like, what? It doesn't prove shit. It it doesn't prove anything. It just proves
That's so weird.
So why would I be trying to move into a place that I can't afford or I can't do? So I was like, okay. So I went there, got the letter, and they're like, Nicholas Ortega is the only one with access to his bank account or like whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's, and then I was like, okay, here's this. I sent that to them and they're like, okay. And then a couple days later, they're like, I'm going to need just like a short, like couple of paragraphs. Literally, I felt like I was writing for like school. They're like, just like a paragraph or two about how how you know the tenants in the apartment. And I was like, is this a joke? So I sent them an email. I was like, this is how I know Ray. This is how I know James, blah, 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 blah. I was like, we all work in the music industry. We all this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Here's this. And they're like, okay, now we need similar statements from them saying that they know you. And I was like, I thought someone was fucking with me. I was like, there's no way that is this detailed. So I'm like, okay. So I texted her. I was like, hey man, this is such bullshit, but can you send this apartment complex just like 2 sentences of how you know me? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he does that. And then I don't hear from them for a week. And I'm like, oh my God, holy shit. I'm on vacation with my family. I'm trying to move February 1st. I'm on vacation with my family January 10th. And I haven't heard from them. And I'm like, and the moving company is like, I scheduled a moving company because I'm like, I scheduled them in November because I'm like, I'm going to move in February, like whatever.
Right.
So they're coming like this 15th or the 16th. I'm on vacation. I haven't heard back from this place. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I text them one last time, like not one last time, but like every single day I'd been texting him. I hadn't heard anything. And I was like, hey, I don't know what more I can give you. I have proven, like, I'm ready to move in. I don't know what to do. And they're like, oh, you're in. And I was like, oh, just as simple as that, huh? Oh, you're in. Oh, you're in. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Dude, what the hell?
That is what it
insane.
took to move into this apartment.
Jesus, because I remember you like telling me like some of that like as it was happening, but like I didn't know it was that detailed. Like
it was
Ray
that
had to fucking
detailed.
Write like an essay.
He had to write an essay.
You're his friend.
An essay, like a literal letter of recommendation. I felt like I was contacting an employer. Like, can you maybe like just say that I'm like a good person? Like, fucking why does it matter, dude?
That's insane, dude. What the hell?
That's
insane. Wild.
It was nuts.
Well, fuck. Hey, you got there.
But I'm here. I persevered.
The maintenance is still kind of
iffy.
But hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Also, fuck, that was 2 months ago.
Yeah, man. That was, only 2 months ago. You're right. All of April, I guess technically 3, because like
it's
all
like
of
3 months,
all of February, all of March, all of April. So like 3 months ago,
Dude.
but like it seems like a long time ago.
That feels like it happened last year. Holy
It does.
Shit, that's so
it does, man. That time's weird as shit. Time is so weird right now.
Fuck. Damn, dude. That's like, honestly, like I feel like the recurring joke on this podcast is that your apartment building is just awful.
So
like just everything about it is terrible.
I only live here for the bit, dude. I only live here for the stories. I put myself through hell so I can tell funny stories about it.
I did this for my career. I don't know what else to tell you.
I suffer. I suffer for the people.
I suffer for the art.
I'm truly.
Oh, you did it finally break!
My chair! The leg is off.
Oh, well, you heard it here, people. Or, well, you watched it here first. You just watched Nick endure bodily harm for your entertainment.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. That's so funny. Wait, did it just disconnect altogether?
Yeah, I'm just gonna... All right, it literally just one of the wheels. Which is not even what this is from. What the fuck? All right, I'm gonna just...
I think it's time for you to buy a new chair, my guy.
I'm just gonna set this down. And very carefully. I'm just not gonna move for the rest of the podcast. We have 20 minutes left. I can do this.
You got this, man. I believe in you. Just all core strength. Just push it all up into your upper body. Just hold it there. Don't move. Everything will be fine. You'll be fine. I'll do it in solidarity. No, I'm not going to do that, actually. I'm sorry. You're one of my best friends. I'm not going to do that for you.
It's okay. You don't have to. I wouldn't expect you to. It's really hot. I'm going to take off my sweatshirt.
We we went out this morning and I was like, oh, it's like really nice out here. And then I realized I was like just wearing shorts. So I was like, oh, cool. You can't hear me. God damn it. This is
yes, I can. I can hear you.
Oh, hell yeah. But I was just like, oh, this is like insane. It's like super nice out, all this stuff. And then like 3 minutes into it, I was like, all right, it's a little hot out. And it's like, it's been weirdly hot like the last couple of days. Like Megan and I will go outside to either just like smoke or drink our coffee or just to see the sun. And like within like 2 minutes of it, we're just like, why is it so fucking hot?
I know.
Why?
You had no
why is
business
it like this?
being that hot.
Yeah. It's like, why did I move here? As like a kid who can't really like deal with heat very well, I picked a horrible place to move to.
You really did.
It's fine. I have air conditioning. Everything's okay.
It's almost too hot to handle. Insert segue music. Speaking of which,
just swish pan.
Dude,
I just pan it out of there.
That fucking show on Netflix. All right. I haven't seen it all, by the way. First of all, I haven't seen all of it. But
what show is this?
Too Hot to Handle. Hence the...
Oh, that was the segue. Oh, I thought you were just making a shitty joke. Oh my God, I missed that entirely. Oh, I'm an idiot. Wow, holy shit. I have a college degree. Oh my God. Okay, well, hey.
It's
all right. So, Too Hot to Handle. Here we go, baby.
We'll
that segue
rewind
just completely undid itself. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. We can start explaining why we're segueing into things. That might add a little time onto our podcast if we need it.
That's true. We can pad it a little bit. I can always take it out. It's no big deal.
So, show on Netflix called Too Hot to Handle, right? First of all, the premise is, I know Megan has told you about it, but in case people who are listening who haven't heard about it, there's a show on Netflix, which it's like #1 in the world right now. It got released like maybe 2 weeks ago. And it's literally like, it's a reality show. It's like another one of those like Love Island type, Bachelorette type, type things. Like you've seen it.
Yeah.
Bunch of dudes, bunch of girls on a island. And, whatever, basically like competing
Netflix
to win.
just like owns a bunch of random ass islands
Yeah,
that they're just
probably.
like, all right, let's go shoot on island number 4.
Yeah,
and they just like show up.
They're like,
That'd
all
be
right,
hilarious. I
yeah,
wouldn't
and
be
we're
surprised.
slated. Yeah, dude, honestly, probably they just bought a whole bunch of them for real cheap back in like the 80s or some shit, back when Netflix didn't even exist.
The guy who owned Netflix just like made a lot of like really smart property investments and was just like, hey, now's the time.
Now's the time. Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny.
So there's a bunch of hot people on an island, and the whole caveat is that they can't like touch or like have sex or even masturbate. Like there's like all this pent up sexual tension, and they're like, oh, look, I'm so fucking hot. Like my name's fucking Harry, and I'm like, and you're like, but
It basically just sounds like a Catholic school.
Yeah.
Like you're not allowed to do anything that you enjoy, and it's just pent up sexual frustration all the time. It's just Catholic school.
yeah, exactly. It's Catholic school on an island. That's what it is. And with hot people. Is Catholic school full of hot people? I don't know. It might be.
I feel I don't know.
Hot for
It's a
Jesus.
mixed bag. It's just no, never mind. Not that at least. Jesus.
So anyway, so I've only seen like the first couple, like maybe like 3 or 4 episodes. There's like 8 episodes. So, first of all, it's the dumbest show I've ever seen in my entire life. Like there's not a premise to it besides the fact that like, haha, you can't have sex. Like,
Then you just watch a bunch of hot people just exist.
Yeah,
like, cool.
and it's like,
you
and
just watch them
like,
breathe.
Oh, the sexual tension is so palpable. And like the host of the show is a robot. It's like an Alexa.
Oh yeah,
Cancel.
I remember that.
Cancel.
They're just listening at all times. That's the Love Island people scouting for the next season.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But literally, it's like this robot. It looks like a butt plug, and it's literally like
huge.
Hello, like I'm Lexis, Lexi, Lara, maybe something. I don't remember. It's not important enough.
It's Alpha 5 from the fucking Power Rangers.
Exactly. It's HAL
That'd
9000.
be incredible.
Anyways, so this thing tells them what to do. It gives them their daily challenges and whatever the fuck. And it's just like, but a quick aside, I at the beginning, like maybe a couple of weeks after I moved here, I went snowboarding with a friend of mine who I went to college with. And so I went to his apartment to like, cause he was going to drive up there to Big Bear. And he's like, hey man, what's up? Like, these are my roommates. So I was like, hey, nice to meet you, whatever. And then I was like, yo, what do your roommates do? And they're like, oh, like they're just, you know, they're like, they're from Australia. They're like, you know, kind of like models or whatever. Like one of them is about to be on this like Netflix show or some shit like that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's the fucking dude. And so I saw the show, like when the promo started coming out, I saw this guy, like, I was like, wait, he's like tagging his roommate and shit. I was like, wait, your roommate is on Too Hot to Handle. He's like one of the quote unquote like main dudes who like made it to the end apparently or some shit. Spoilers. I don't fucking care. Anyways, his name is Harry. Harry, that's this guy's roommate is Harry. Which is
why is it that hot people always have the least sexiest names? Oh, my name's Harry.
I'm Harry.
Like, okay,
I'm Harry.
Like, first of all, why don't you get the fuck out of here? My name is Brian, so I don't really have any fucking room to talk. But this is just me being a little mad that they didn't ask me to be on the show.
I know.
Right? I'm just taking
I know.
my
Like, why
frustration.
wouldn't they? Why they should have asked you, dude? They fucking should have. But yeah, I mean, Harry, like, dude,
work for Netflix.
Get an
What the
original
fuck?
name, like fucking Harry Potter. Like, yeah, just because you have an accent. Yeah, dude, get the fuck out of here, dude.
You're from Australia, so
Yeah.
you're just like Harry Potter, but like half of him.
You're like
Okay,
half
get the
Harry
fuck
Potter.
out.
Yeah, get
fuck
out of here, dude.
You know, you can't even do magic.
You're warm Harry Potter.
You fought a kangaroo and you were pissed drunk the other day. All right, you're not Harry Potter. Get the fuck
You're
out.
not Harry Potter. You wish you were Harry Potter. Anyways, so this guy, Harry Jowsey, whatever his name
Ew,
is.
like I said, dude.
Harry
Why?
Jowsey.
Why is this name disgusting?
It's
like
not a
that's
good
like
name.
the caveat. It's just like God's like, all right, we're gonna make this one really hot, but we're gonna make his parents fuck up and call him like
Schmingle
comrade.
Bottle Bottom.
Yep, that makes more sense.
Exactly. That's a
just a
British
bunch of
ass name.
syllables.
Schmingle Bottle Bottom. Anyways,
Ew.
so this guy, he was like some kind. I guess he was like a model or something before this, and you know, like
So he's just hot.
Yeah, he's like this hot, you know, like very attractive guy and like very charismatic kind of guy. Like, if I'm being honest, kind of boring. I met him and he's kind of boring. Didn't have much to say. Anyways. So before this whole Too Hot to Handle thing started, he's just like he's like a successful model. He had like maybe like 50,000 Instagram followers or whatever. And he was, you know, like doing shoots for brands or some shit like that. This show airs 2 weeks later. After whatever, 2 weeks later, he's now up to 2.5 million followers.
Oh my
in
fucking
2
God,
weeks.
dude.
In 2 weeks, he went from 50K to 2.5 million.
Do you think Instagram like locked his account? They were just like, nope.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess he was probably verified if he was already chilling at 50,000. So they're probably
he was
just like,
he
oh,
was
this
verified.
is organic.
Yeah, he was verified,
Yeah,
and now it's just
okay.
like it's insane that kind of
insane,
growth. Like
dude.
all of the people on that show, I don't know what they did before, but like literally like they've just blown up. I mean, they're like in the big leagues now. Like number one on Netflix is fucking huge. You know, like that's insane. So, anyways, I don't know. That was just
like, here's the interesting thing to take from that too, is that like from reality TV, where do you
where do you
go from
what
that?
do you
Because
do?
it's just like, okay, at least all of these people were just really fucking hot, so like they can catapult like a modeling career, and most of them, it seems like, already had a modeling career anyway, so now it's just bigger. Cool. But where
do you go?
like,
It's
how
not
do
like it's not like you were in a movie and you're showing off your acting
Exactly.
chops, you know?
Right.
It's like where
Like,
do you
you're not
go? Another reality show?
Yeah, it's like they're going from, obviously this is going to be like super first world problems and shit like that, but it's like they're going to go from making, you know, a couple thousand for a modeling shoot to like tens of thousands for a modeling shoot. Like,
right.
Cool, that's tight and everything, but it's like it's not like you just were on one of the biggest shows, like Emmy nominated, like
right.
Oscar nominated if you're like in a movie and shit. And it's not like you're going to go on to make, you know, multi-million-dollar contracts on movies and stuff like
know.
that. Like, I don't know. It's weird because I feel like the trajectory's different.
And the other thing is like with people on reality shows, like even like bachelors in the past and shit like that, like, yeah, they're like famous because they're like, oh, I was the bachelor and whatever. But like, it's not like they're on other reality shows, you know, it's not like, unless it's like a Bachelor reunion episode or like, you know, shit like that, where it's like the same show, just like bringing back old lovable characters. It's like, you're not moving on to other reality shows. You're not, you know, so like, what is there to do? I mean, now you have a platform. So like, if you had something else, like you're like, oh, I was also an aspiring musician or whatever, like that could lead to something else. But like,
Exactly.
it doesn't seem like a lot of these people had that other outlet. Like, not that they need it, like whatever, they're models. That's great. I'm not saying that's not a legitimate career, because obviously it very much is, but like, where is there to go now that you have like a exponentially larger platform? Where do you take it?
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
And like,
Yeah.
that's the interesting concept, because it's just like, okay, cool. This guy, went from 50,000 to 2.5 million Instagram followers. Tight. What happens when that bubble pops?
Yeah.
What happens when like that shifts somewhere else? What happens when it's like oversaturated, which it already is ridiculously oversaturated. So now it's like, okay, you've pushed through that saturation. You're now sitting at the top. Sick. Are you just going to keep doing the same shit that you were always doing? Like you were a model, you're doing all this. What are they just going to put you on another reality show now? Because it's like, unless you were doing something great on that show, unless you were like great TV, unless your personality was like good to hold scenes and hold people's attention, they're not going to put you on another show just because you're hot. Like it made sense on this one because like,
and then what? You're just like the reality show guy. Like you're just, oh, he was on this. Oh wait, now he's on this. Okay, cool. Oh wait, now he's on that. Like then it just gets weird. Yeah, exactly. And like plus too, like you look at like the Jersey Shore people, like they all kind of pivoted and like did a bunch of other shit. Snooki went on to like do hosting. Yeah.
Pauly D, I guess, is like a fucking DJ or some shit now, whatever. I feel like everybody just becomes a DJ at some point.
Everyone's a DJ at the end of the day.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Everybody in porn's a DJ. But like it's like those people, they all pivoted to do something else, and like cool, that's sick. So it's like, I don't know, I just want to see how that goes. I also want to know how that fucking casting process went, because was it just like
looking for hot people?
Yeah, and then they just like send headshots and they're just like, this one's hot. Like like obviously you have to cast people to like be like, okay, cool, can they carry a conversation? Do they have enough self-worth to deal with us putting words in their mouth? Like are they gonna make good TV? Like that's how that goes. So it's like, how the fuck do you pick a bunch of boring ass hot people to be on TV to make it not bad? So that's like the crazy thing to me. I was like, what happened there? Because that's the interesting thing.
That's the other thing, is like, it's like they are boring. Like it's not like they're like, oh, this is drama filled. Like sure, there's like dramatic bits, but it's not like network reality TV where that shit's like really played up. I mean, like I'm sure it's like, parts of it, it's reality TV, so it's not 100% legitimate, but like it's not like, it's like they didn't even try. It's like they literally were just like, all right, do your thing, don't do this. Yeah. And then like they didn't direct them.
Right. And the thing that looks like it too, because like basically the only exposure I have to this show is like the 4 minutes of Snapchat videos that Megan sent me while she was watching it. And I was just like, okay, well, this is like, first of all, none of them are like hot. Like I would not categorize them as hot. I would categorize them as attractive. But it's like a hot person I have to look at and be like, did they grow you? Like, who made you? Like that's the way I look at it. So it was like, there's like the one British dude with like the most like stereotypical British haircut where it's like a single line and then like short and then like kind of like fucked up on the top. Right. And I was like, this dude, like this guy's on this TV show. What the fuck? And then like it's like what drama are you gonna do? Because usually it's like, you hooked up with the girl that I was trying to hook up with, or like, oh, you did this and this, and like you have like those.
But they took out that element. They took out the exciting elements of reality TV. They're like, nope, we're just gonna watch you like exist.
Yeah, we're just gonna watch you squirm, basically. Like literally. That's what it is. It's like it sounds like it's a ploy into like making people uncomfortable. Like that's just kind of what it feels like.
I honestly don't even know like because like so. Literally like 3 episodes in, this one girl just got bored and left. She just like, I don't think this is really what I thought it was going to be. And like, she just left. She just like, I'm going to go. Like, it wasn't exciting enough for you. Oh, sorry. This Netflix reality show is not exciting enough for you. That's how boring it is.
Dude, what the fuck?
It's insane. And then, so the whole concept is though, like, there's like $100,000 prize or some shit like that. And then like anytime someone does anything like remotely sexual or whatever, they like take money off of that pool. So it like affects everybody. So like affects everybody. So this girl who was like, I'm just going to leave. Before she left, she like made out with another one of the girls just to fuck everyone else over and bring the total down. It was great.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. That's actually kind of tight. I love that. Yeah. Like, I feel like there's a lot of good points in there for like comedic bits. Oh yeah. But like that kind of a reality show is like written for drama, but it's just like, is it funny? Are there any like comedic bits whatsoever?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm not going to say like I sat there like completely like, like it's like, there's some funny parts. It's kind of like, Oh, like,
Yeah.
you know, it
We
holds
have
your interest.
editors.
Yeah, exactly. And oh my God,
Right.
the editors are carrying the fucking weight of that show, dude. I tell you, holy
right.
shit. Like, you know, all the little tiny little funny music cues and the little punch-ins and shit. Like, it's just like they're carrying the storyline and shit. It's really funny. But like, but yeah, so it's literally just, I'm like 4 episodes in. I don't know if I'll finish it, but it's honestly like,
That is wild.
you know, they try to tie in like a message to it. Like instead of it just like taking it at face value and being like, this is like a bunch of hot people who are like now pent up because they can't have sex, blah, blah, blah. They try to spin it and put like a positive, like, well, the whole purpose is because we really want to like get to know each other before we can know other people. And like, we won't truly be happy, you know, if we're just jumping into things right off the bat. And I'm like, what is this, a 7th grade health class? Like, holy shit. Like just,
I was like, still like biologically, like it's like the first thing that is based off of is like what you see.
Yeah.
And then you start to know the person.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Exactly.
I don't know. The argument is valid and a good argument, and I agree with it.
oh, sure.
But
Yeah.
I think it's like they're just ripping out part of it that's like very much just like a biological process, and they're just
Yeah.
like, this is really what matters. And it's
Yeah.
like, yes, but also you can't initiate the rest of that without the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. And like the whole, it's silly. And the only like a couple of exciting characters that I thought, you know, were like worth like watching or would at least do like just goofy shit, like they left early. And there's this one guy who was like this like real just like hippy dippy granola guy, whatever, like had his hair back and like just like kind of like, oh, like I'm just here to like kind of, you know, feel out the vibe, whatever type shit. So like there was an exercise where all the dudes covered themselves in mud, covered each other in mud. Sorry. They rubbed mud all over each other. And then
sounds very homoerotic that they were just like, let's
and
put
then
it in, baby.
They took a whiteboard and they wrote down their biggest fear. And then they're like being vulnerable and like letting other men like rub shit on them and then like showing other men their greatest fear. I'm like, okay, sure, I guess. But like the hippie guy. So then like there's a moment where they all like turn to their partner and like show whatever, like their biggest fear. And like the hippie guy's partnered with this one guy and the one guy shows it and it's like broken family or whatever. And the hippie guy turns his and says fear.
I fear fear. Like he thinks he's being deep too.
He thinks he's being like deep
What
as
an
shit.
idiot.
It's like so profound. I'm like, dude, oh my God, just stop trying. Just stop. It was so funny. Dude. It was so funny. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's worth a watch. Like the first episode, at least, it's so ridiculous, but like it is, you know, it is what it is. It's reality TV. It's whatever.
So
it's given,
wild,
it
dude.
just
That's
gave
so
12 people an insane platform to do whatever they want. So let's see if they do something with it.
That's fucking crazy, dude. And now you can technically say you know that guy. So,
Exactly.
I met that guy one time. He lives with this other guy that I know.
Yeah, I was 2 feet away from him, you know, just in case. I've always got that on the back burners in case something miraculous happens. He calls his, first of all, you know, to each his own, great. His brand is his brand, but he calls his followers naughty little possums.
Ew.
He started that. He did that shit like on the show and stuff too. Like he like, oh, you little naughty little possums, yeah. And I was like, I don't like. That's weird as shit, dude. Why are we
really
naughty?
gross.
Why are we possums?
Also weird that he like on a TV show started calling his fans something. Like, dude, fucking have some self-awareness.
I know.
Understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Realize this. That's insane.
Yeah, but like all of his Instagram stories are like, good morning, naughty little possums. Like, what are you up to today? I read all your Instagram messages and I just want to say I'm filled with love. I'm filled with love. Have a good day. And I'm like, it's just so good morning, naughty little possums. Stop it.
Dude, can we start like a fake like creator collective where we just
Please.
like do all of these stereotypes?
Please.
Like that shit. That was wonderful. That was great. That would
I
be
would love
so
to.
funny.
I'd love to, man.
That would be so funny. Holy shit.
be
I
hilarious.
love when people come up with like names for their fan bases because like my favorite one is like one of like Megan's favorite bands is this band called Heart Attack Man and they call their fans like the Baby Carrot Gang.
I love
and it's
that.
just it makes no sense and like it also doesn't seem like it gets brought up that much. Like they're just like, yep, that's what it is.
That's so
it's
funny.
Like, I love that shit so much.
I
It's
love
so
that.
funny.
That's
but
great.
Naughty little possums.
Naughty little
dude?
possums. Like he was like trying way too hard. Just like honestly, just go the Jake Paul route. Just call him the Jake Paulers, dude. Call him the Harry Jousers. That sounds. It just sounds like a cock, dude. It just sounds like, what's up, you little Harry Jousers? Oh, chubby
You're all
little
little
Harry.
hairy penises. Ew, chubby. Ew, stop. Why? This is just getting worse.
Oh man. But, yeah, it's just. Oh man. Holy shit. Wow, that's an hour.
It's like, yeah, dude, we fucking hit that shit easy.
We hit that shit easy. It was easy today, dude.
There's just so much happening, and there's so many things. And I think like reality TV is just something that like constantly evolves and shit. Like if I wasn't on an NDA, dude, I would be fucking talking about this show every day because the shit is wild. There's just been a lot of decisions.
Does your NDA expire when it comes out?
I think so. I think that's when it is, or it's like whenever. Yeah, it's like I believe it's after the whole season has aired is when like we can say things about it.
Yeah,
obviously
sense.
Like some of it's still like disclosed. Like I'm not allowed to tell you like how Netflix operates things or like passwords and shit. But like
that's so funny because literally when you said I'm not allowed to say, and then your noise gate kicked on and I couldn't hear what you said. I'm not allowed to talk about the or anything like that.
Oh, that's so funny. Holy shit.
That was really good,
dude. But yeah, that fucking Netflix's reality TV is just getting like really good. They're just like putting a lot of money into it because I think like it's honestly like kind of cheap.
I'm sure it's cheap. I was about to say I'm sure it's cheap as fuck to produce. No fucking script writers. No like none of that like extra shit. Like yeah, it's just throw some people in a house.
The ROI is a lot higher. Like they
sure.
know that they're going into it not getting. Like they're like, cool, we're not doing this to get an Emmy. We're not doing this to get like an Oscar or anything like that.
We're doing this to get clicks.
Just like, fuck it. Yeah. We're doing this because it's entertaining. Someone's gonna like it. It'll offer people what they want, and it'll probably make a shit ton of money. So whatever. So that's always the interesting thing that I find with reality TV. But dude, that's wild. What a fucking weird show. What a weird universe we live in.
What a weird universe. We got, dude. Oh my god. Quickly. Have you seen that large fucking baby?
Yeah, dude. There was another fucking tweet this morning of him like throwing footballs, and it was just like this kid's gonna be wild in the NFL draft.
What is he?
I don't know.
It's
honestly scary.
I don't think it's a baby. What? I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't think that's
like a toddler with like alopecia or some shit.
Why is it so like his proportions are not toddler proportions? Like bro's arms are like down to his knees.
Dude, it's weird. I think they took him, put him in Photoshop, and just like free transformed and just kind of dragged it up, and they were like, "Yep, that's fine."
That's what they did.
That's what it is.
I feel like I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. This dude's like a full grown man in a baby costume.
I want to know what the fuck the parents look like because I want to know what derived that.
Oh, I know.
What gave us this,
dude?
Just because it's.
My theory.
It's scary.
My theory is that it's not a baby at all, right? It's some guy who he's a drug mule, right? He is all right. Just bear with me. This dude is a drug mule, right? And he's a very successful. The baby is a drug mule, very successful at the top, like very top level of this crime syndicate, right? So he's
Pablo Escobar Jr.
Yeah, he's like tight. He's like tight with the whatever CEO of the drug ring, and so whatever the CEO spent millions of dollars getting like realistic enough looking prosthetics to put on this guy because no one's gonna fucking check a baby, right? The guy's already a little bit short, maybe he's Italian or something like that, so he's already a little bit short statured. To put this prosthetics on him, no one's gonna question a baby. They hired a fake family for him, whatever. And then they started a TikTok account. They're like, what's gonna like, okay. The reason they started the TikTok account though, was because in that one video, that very first video where the baby's like jumping on the fucking dude, right? If you notice, there's a bunch of like white powder, like puffs spraying out, right? So here's what happened, right? It was a drug deal.
So it's not baby
wrong.
Powder.
No, it's not baby powder. Not baby powder,
okay,
right?
Okay,
could be K, could be Coke, could be any number of things.
It could be K.
So the thing
just
that
this
happened,
baby's just super into ketamine.
Exactly. He's, I don't know. Who am I to judge? It's a man baby. He can do what he wants. So it went wrong. Someone discovered that this baby was not in fact a baby, right? And they're like, I'm going to expose you. You're fucking done. All right. All the TSA agents, everyone who's ever not looked not looked at babies twice, they're going to start looking at babies. You're fucked. You're going to be under scrutiny. And he's like, I can't have that happen. I'm sorry. Bah, kills this guy, right? So he's laying down. And he's like, he's like, hey man, he calls his boss. He's like, hey man, something went wrong. I had to kill this guy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right, here's what you got to do. So here's what he does. So he films this video, right? He films the video of him jumping on the guy like, oh my God, this is my dad. Ha 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 ha. And then they put it on TikTok because they're like, this is the only way to throw people off the scent. You're just a weird, freakishly large baby. And he's like, but here's the thing, man. Now you got to commit to the bit. Now you got to start posting baby videos and shit like that. And he's like, but this is the only way to keep our family, our crime family, our drug ring safe. Can you do that for me? And he's like, ah. And he fucking, now he's a full-time TikToker / drug mule.
And you know what's even cooler about that is that now he gets brand deals. So that's just
Exactly.
more money to bring into the crime syndicate.
Exactly.
Fucking boom.
Yeah.
Easy money. Easy clap.
Money, dude. Easy money.
Dude, what the fuck? That's the best theory that I've heard so far. Everybody else's is just like, oh yeah, he's just big.
Just a big
no,
baby.
but this one is like, I can see it. I can see the picture.
Can
all
you
right,
see it?
that's what matters.
Yeah. Can you see it? Millions of dollars in prosthetics, short man, drug deal gone wrong, TikTok stardom.
Yeah, exactly. A fucking execution style, just bouncing on a dead body.
Yeah,
it's fine.
He's like, but it's my dad. Haha. That's why he's turned around. It's like the dude's not like, reacting in the video. He's just having his back fucking like butt bombed by a 300-pound baby. Excuse me. I think no one can take that kind of pressure on their fucking spinal cord.
And his head is like off screen most of the time. So
yeah,
fucking, I'm starting to see it, man.
You're starting to see it. You're starting to put the pieces together.
Get out the red string. This whole thing is going to become a fucking. That was scary. It's going to be a whole a map with just string all over it.
Yeah,
Everybody's going to believe us, dude.
You're going to Charlie the shit out of this. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, it's going to be fucking wonderful. Jesus, what a high note to end our double-digit episode.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you very much for tuning in for episode 10 of the Lunchtime Serenade podcast.
10.
We finally did it. We hit it. We hit that mark.
That mark
on 2 hands now. Well, we've been on 2 hands.
We've been on 2 hands. We're now on feet. So, all right, next episode 11 from here on out is going to be on our Patreon because we're going to start counting with our toes, baby.
Attaboy. Please don't break that chair. Please don't break the chair. Please don't break the chair.
Oh, you're right. I'm kind of stuck here. I can't really
just stay like that. All right, everybody. Drop likes. Hit us with a subscribe. Otherwise, Nick has to stay like that for the rest of his life. So
one like is
kind of
one
on you at this
chair.
point. Yeah, it's kind of on you at this point. So everybody, enjoy this. Take care. And we'll see you next week, middle of the day, middle of the week, so long as our internet continues to work.
Facts.
Goodbye.